Good afternoon, Tiger fans. We're here at Warrenton High School today on a beautiful afternoon. Just off the Columbia River from Fort Stevens State Park, we have got Special District 2 League play. It's a top 10 affair between the number 5 Warrenton Warriors and the number 8 ranked Taft Tigers. Taft, they lost the first two games in this series at home in the Friday doubleheader 18 days ago on the 12th. As it was a great start for league play for Warrenton, who comes in at the top of league with a 7-1 record overall. The Tigers, they can't win the series against the Warriors, but they can sure get themselves right back into not only a Special District 2 league top spot, because Warrenton, they do have one loss. That was to Rainier. They still have two more games coming up against Rainier. So if Taft wins out, they put themselves in a very good position to come away with perhaps a tie in league play. They do, because they lost the series, they are going to have to come away with a head-to-head, or not with a head-to-head record, but with the overall. So Warrenton's going to have to come up with 3 losses. They only have 3 losses on the season. They're 11-3. As Taft 6-3 in league play, 10-9 overall. One of the things that for the young players that they have to understand for Taft is they've only played high-quality teams that have beaten them so far this year, and they're in every single one of those games. When they lost to Warrenton, it was a 5-7 2-run loss. The next game was a 2-3 loss. Tigers, in each situation, were in it until their very last at-bat, came up with the third and final out of the inning. So the Tigers know that they're capable. They also lost 2-4 in the first game of Friday's doubleheader at Rainier, and they looked like they were going to lose the series and lose both games in the doubleheader until the top of the 7th inning, when Eli DeMello got on after Coach Carnes for the Columbians changed pitchers. Tigers, they cannot wait for the top of the 7th inning in game number 2. It's just one game today that we'll be playing, and they know that they have to bring the energy from the start. As Tigers assistant coach King, he didn't make the trip as he had his own. He was on the injury list himself. It happens to the best of us. In fact, he wouldn't throw me out there on the hill. I'd throw my shoulder off before I was any effective on the mound. For Coach King, he's glad to be back out there and hoping that today the team comes out with a lot better energy than they showed in that game. As the season for the Tigers, with a win today, while they may not get themselves on top in league, they have a very good chance of finishing as the 3rd highest ranked non-qualifying team for the state playoffs. And the benefit to that is with 5 leagues, that means there are still 3 spots in the first round to host a playoff game. And when you look at the league standings, Special District 1, there's nobody special there, but somebody has to come away with the league championship and an automatic home game. In Special District 2, it's Warrenton. As we said, they're ranked 5. Rainier right now is ranked 6th. The Taft is ranked 8th. If the playoffs started today, all 3 teams would qualify, but Rainier would end up with the home game in the playoffs, even though the Tigers have beaten them 2-1. That's why it's important to get this game against Warrenton today. Of course, it's going to be very difficult having lost the first 2 games, in part because they got stellar pitching on the mound. They're going to go with Devin Jackson here. For the Tigers, they're going to throw Eli DeMello as 2 juniors on the mound, and then we'll probably see the seniors at some point in relief. For the Tigers, that's likely to be Blaze Kimbrough, and for the Warriors, if they use a relief pitcher, the Tigers are certainly hoping they have to use a relief pitcher, then it would likely be the center fielder Dalton Knight. As both the Tigers and the Warriors came away with a good last week as far as pitch counts are concerned. Each team did lose a game. For the Tigers, as we said, though, it's important to focus on the rest of the season, as Friday they're going to have a road doubleheader at Willamina. I think Taft might be a designated home team in one of those games, but it'll still be a road contest from Willamina. Then next Tuesday on the 7th, we'll be at Catlin Gable High School. And then Friday the 10th, so 2 Fridays from now, final league game of the year against Clatskanie Tigers has got a bit of an issue here with home plate, as Coach Wolf has got the the cooking knife out there, making sure that everything's to the liking of our umpires today. As look at the district standings real quickly for you. As we said, Warrenton is at the top, 7-1. Taft, 6-3. Rainier, 4-3. With Rainier playing a doubleheader today against Clatskanie, and then Catlin Gable and Willamina are playing in the other game. Catlin Gable 5, they are still in the thick of it for league play. Clatskanie, they're on the verge. If they don't come up with some big wins today against Rainier, they'll probably be out of it. When we look at the coaches poll, comparing these teams, not so favorable for the Tigers. They've started to slip a bit as they are ranked 10th in the coaches poll. Warrenton is ranked 6th and Rainier 7th. Brookings Harbor continues to remain number 1 in the coaches poll, followed by 3 teams from Special District 3. Lapine, last year's state champions. St. Anne Christian Eagles, quarterfinal opponent who fell to Horizon Christian last year. And then the Pleasant Hillbillies, who fell to Lapine in the semifinal round. The Tigers, for a moment, thought they were going to get Pleasant Hill in the semifinals, but Lapine came back in the end of that game on their way to the state championship. Aragon is ranked 5th. They're out of Special District 2, and that's where, for the Tigers, it's important to get this win today, even if perhaps it doesn't mean that they will go on the way to win district. That would be out of their hands, as we've said, with the losses that they've had so far on the season. But as we said, first round home playoff game still in the cards for the Tigers, as top 4 teams will get, well, you got to win, of course, but that means you get 2 games guaranteed. For the Lady Tigers, who are behind me in this beautiful press box, their game has already gotten underway, and I can see 2 Tigers on the bases at second and third, or at first and second already. See if I can perhaps give you a bit of a recap, an update of the softball game as it goes on. The Lady Tigers right now are ranked 5th in the state, as they are definitely looking to have a solid season. Last year they fell in the semifinal round, or excuse me, the quarterfinal round, to the eventual state champion, the Dayton Pirates. So for Taft, it's going to be Trenton Fisher leading things off, the right fielder, with Eli DeMello, followed by Cody Knott, Tye Fisher, Blaze Kimbrough, Fico Ramos, Darius Smith, Caden Heineman. Jordan Hall will be hit for by Ethan Thomas. On the hill, it's Devin Jackson throwing to Jake Morrow. Alec Herrera at first base, Gabe Breitmeyer at second, Dwayne Falls at third, Austin Little at short, Josh Earls in left, Dalton Knight in center, and Khalil Kapua is in right field. So, first pitch from the lefty, Devin Jackson, to the righty, Trenton Fisher. First pitch swinging, popped up. Jackson, the left-hander, comes up and makes the catch. First pitch swinging, out number 1 on the pop-up by Trenton Fisher. So, 1 pitch, 1 out for the Tigers. We'll bring up Eli DeMello, the pitcher for Taft in today's game. So, start on the hill. We'll probably see Blaze Kimbrough. Of course, Eli want to have a solid start on the mound, but one way you can do that, get yourself a base hit, get some confidence going here. So Jackson, with nobody on, throwing from the stretch, a comfort thing. Some young players, as Jake Morrow calls out a bit of a defensive alignment, as Knight is shaded towards right field out in center. So first pitch misses outside from Jackson for a ball. Eli leads the team batting average and hits, hitting .365 total on the season with 23 hits and 10 runs batted in. Right now he's looking to get on base for that one. Taken out to right field. Kapua's going to chase it down. Hat is off, and it drops in for a single for Eli DeMello. His 24th hit of the season gives Cody Knott a runner on base, as Coach King got a laugh out of my suggestion and me poking fun at myself in the Tigers' comeback against the Columbians. Is similar situation with Eli at first, Cody at the plate, and I said, you're not going to bunt Cody here. I didn't think Coach Hilders would play small ball in that situation, but he will play small ball at all times of the game. So Jackson from the stretch again with Knott at the plate, As that pitch in the dirt, but Morrow, good job behind the plate to block. He was first team All Lewis and Clark League last year. He was a first team All State selection at catcher behind Lapine's Wyatt DeForest. As we got to see Wyatt up close in action. Morrow, very talented one, the junior. 1-0 count to Cody at the plate as Eli takes his lead at first. As this one again is low from Jackson. So 2-0 count now to Cody. As you have an all-grass field here at Warrenton, nice field. And then you have turf cutouts. So you have turf at all the bases and home plate, and then on the hill, it is a grass cutout. 60 feet, 6 inches to go for Devin Jackson with a 2-0 count to the Tigers' Cody Knott. He takes a cut at this one, and it gets past Coach Hilgers, normally sure of hand, as that one's sitting on the left field foul line. 2-1 count. One of the young Tigers will have to run out of the dugout to grab it. Beautiful day for baseball here. You've got all the sights, and you certainly have the smells. It's not coming in across the radio for you, but I got a fresh smell of burgers as this one's hit to Austin Little at short. Here's the turn for Breitmeyer. Can he get the double play? He does to Herrera in time. It's a 6-4-3 double play ground out to end the inning. The Tigers, they get one hit. They strand nobody on base due to the double play by Little, Breitmeyer, and Herrera to end the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the first in a 0-0 ball game back in 60 on your Tigers Radio Network. Welcome back on AM 1400 KBCH here in the bottom of the first inning. Eli DeMello, his first action on the hill will be to the shortstop Austin Little, followed by Gabe Breitmeyer, Jake Morrow, Dwayne Falls, Alec Herrera, Dalton Knight, Devin Jackson, Cleo Kapua, and then designated hitter Ethan Caldwell batting for Josh Earls. Defensively for the Tigers, Eli's throwing to the freshman Caden Heineman behind the plate with Blaze Kimbrough at first. We've got Jordan Hall at second base, Vico Ramos at third, Cody Knott at shortstop, left fielder Darius Smith, center fielder Ty Fisher, and right fielder Trenton Fisher. A bit of wind now moving out from center field towards, you'd be going from second base to about third base, as Austin Little, the right-hander, steps in to face the right-hander, Eli DeMello, junior versus junior here. As that fastball misses low from DeMello on the outside part of the plate. As Little was a first-team All-League selection last season. He was a third-team All-State selection. As that one misses, 2-0 count. The Tigers can get a win here on a beautiful afternoon. Eli, breaking pitch, hits the outside corner, strike one. As Little looks at it. He's got a short backstop here, not too deep. That pitch misses outside. Heineman, a good job to save that one. With no one on, still want to show off here as Caden going up against a first-team All-State selection. Curveball, got a piece of it, fouled off. 3-2 count now for Austin Little. So Warrenton only played 14 games on the season. In non-league action, one of the common opponents was Santiam Christian. They went out to a tournament. St. Anne Christian won that game. Let's see, top 4 team right now in the state. Curveball, this one's hit and foul by Little, as that one hops off the fence in left field and into the corner. So there's a ball on the field in play. As the young Tigers runs out there, you've got the bullpen along there. This one hit to Fico, comes up, grabs the 2-hopper, fires to Blaze, and makes the catch in time on the 5-3 ground out. Good play by Fico. Is one of the things for the Tigers on the grass infield is ground balls are not going to come in as quickly as they do. And for base runners, you can sometimes take off, get a few extra steps on the play. As Fico playing close to in line with the bag at first. Blaze is in line at first base. Breitmeyer shows bunt, gets it down. Eli tries to barehand it, gets it, throws to Blaze, and makes a catch. So Eli, unable to get the barehand the first time, is able to bring those mitts together on the second collection, and he fires to Blaze. Good play by Eli on the 1-3 throw out. So Breitmeyer is down. I'll bring up Jake Morrow. And first pitch misses outside. So Eli got a little ground out. Breitmeyer trying to get on playing small ball. Bunt didn't fall. First pitch to Morrow outside. On deck is the third baseman, Dwayne Falls. Eli with nobody on, thrown from the windup. As Morrow takes a swing and gets a piece of it back into the cage. 1-1 count now. 2 down, bottom of the first inning. Tigers in their road black uniforms with gray pants. They put on the black hats for the road games. This one hit hard and foul down the third base line, as Fico didn't dive for that one. Not too far off, as hard hit ball from the catcher, Jake Morrow. He's now got a 1-2 count. No wind right now. And, ooh, good-looking pitch inside for Eli. But just a little too inside for a 2-2 count here with 2 down. Morrow calls for time in the box. Here's the pitch from Eli. Fastball. Hit hard and past Fico, who laid out for that one. There's extra bases for Morrow as he turns for 2. Darius throws into Cody as no play at the bag. It's a double for Jake Morrow. After the Tigers for a moment thought they had him looking on strike number 3. So Dwayne Falls now comes to the plate with a runner at second base. So each team with a hit in the first inning. Eli from the stretch now. As this one hit to center field, Ty comes charging in, and he doesn't make the grab. Here's the throw to the plate. Caden unable to make the catch. It goes all the way to the backstop, and that allows Falls to get over to second on the RBI single that scores Jake Morrow. Ty from center field with 2 down. You might have thought he was going to lay out for that one, but he pulled up at the last second, and it falls in for the single for Falls, and it's a 1-0 lead for the Warriors, who have gotten out top early again in the first against the Tigers. It was the problem in the first 2 games. They scored 2 runs in the top of the first each time, and the Tigers had to play from behind, and they do it once again here. So 1-0 count to Herrera, the first baseman. Falls at second. Eli from the stretch. This one hit to Cody in the hole. Makes the backhand. Here's the throw to first. Blaze gets the grab for out number 3 on the 6-3 ground out, but not before the Warriors. They get 2 hits. They leave 1 on the bases, and they score the game's first run, 1-0. We'll be back in the top of the second with the Tigers trailing 1-0 in 60 seconds on your Tigers Radio Network. Welcome back here on AM 1400 KBCH, where the Warriors, they were able to bring in the first run on the RBI single from Dwayne Falls after a double down the line from Jake Morrow. Tigers thought they had Morrow looking on a strikeout on the inside part of the plate, and instead Morrow laced one down the line, and the Tigers trying to get themselves off to a good start here. Just because they didn't get it in the first inning doesn't mean with Ty Fisher leading it off here that they can't make the second inning, the inning they get on board here against Devin Jackson, the junior left-hander, throwing from the stretch. First pitch outside to Ty for ball one. Ty, a big part of the Tigers' sixth-run seventh inning. It's part of their 7-6 win. Ty hits this one to Little, comes charging forward to Hopper. High throw to Herrera, who was able to keep a foot on the bag on the 6-3 ground out. One down now for Tigers first baseman Blaze Kimbrough, who will come to the plate. Blaze hitting around the Mendoza line in there because he's able to get runners across the plate. As Blaze, with 15 RBIs on the season, he is third in the team. Right now, though, looking to get on. He does have 7 free passes with 8 hits on the year. So 1-0 lead for the Warriors' top two as Jackson. That one fouled off, and Hilger sneaks over there in front of Dwayne Falls and makes the play in foul territory. As Eli, he did have a single in the first, but a double play by the Warriors. It's always a sign of a talented baseball team, their ability to make those plays, like double plays, make them look easy. As that pitch inside in the turf, good block by Morrow behind the plate. So 1-1 count to Blaze. So the righty in the box looks at the pitch from the lefty, puts this one into right field. Will it stay fair as Kapua watches this one hit the grass in foul territory? 1-2 count now for Kimbrough at the plate. Good lineup of fans, too, as you've got the football field right next to the right field fence. So you've got a little bit of bleachers over there for everyone to enjoy this game in the sunshine. It's perhaps abnormally calm as far as wind is concerned here, as half the teams on the Oregon coast are ranked in the top 10 across the state. As Blaze tries to go same spot, this one is just foul for just Blaze Kimbrough. It remains a 1-2 count at the plate for Devin Jackson. As Warrenton comes in ranked number 5. Seaside, they're not ranked. And you come down to Neocani. I want to say Neocani is 5 or 6 in the 2A, 1A poll. When you get further down to Reedsport, they're number 1 in the 2A poll. I'm not counting Napa as part of the coast. They're too far inland, but they had a 40-game winning streak earlier this season at the 2A, 1A level that was snapped. Jackson's going to step off the hill. Of course, the Tigers and the Newport Cubs, also top 10 teams. Cubs have Jacob Dobmeyer, who signed to play at UC San Diego, D1 baseball. Check swing in the dirt. Blaze didn't go. It's ball 2. After 2 foul pitches, Blaze sees a breaking pitch miss in the turf. Keep going further down the coast. Walport and Siuslaw don't have ranked baseball teams, but North Bend does. Marshfield doesn't. And Bandon and Gold Beach don't, but Brookings Harbor has the number 1 team in the state at the 3A level. Blaze, underneath this one, it's popped up in third base territory. Dwayne Falls in foul territory now. Makes the catch for the second out of the inning on the pop-up. So 2 down for the Tigers' third baseman, Fico Ramos. So Fico will come to the plate now, hitting .286 on the season. The first-year starter, seeing a lot of action for Coach Hilgers. He's got 10 hits on the year with 11 runs scored, 5 runs batted in, and he's got 11 walks. He's actually tied, he's just second behind Ty, who leads the team with 12 walks on the season. Trenton leads the team in free passes with 14 total. He's got 3 hit by pitches. Fico, first pitch, swing and strike 1. Fico, similar size build to Cody. And, for middle infielders, that's great as he's playing third today. Starts off swinging there. Josh Salisbury, first-team All-State shortstop, who's now playing at Umpqua Community College. As Fico, very athletic point guard for the basketball team, a wide receiver on the football team. Right now, though, he's looking for something in the Warrenton outfield grass, and he fouls us out of play. He put it on the football field grass. He wants to go the opposite side. So 0-2 count for Fico with 2 down here, top of the second inning. With Devin Jackson on the hill, the lefty from the stretch. That one misses outside, had some mustard on it. Maybe that's because he can smell the food from here. Number 1 school for most obnoxious food that you could smell at a game goes to Boise State University in the waffle stand. That one in the turf for ball 2 to Fico. So 2-2 count after falling behind 0-2. It's not that waffles don't smell good. They smell delicious. When you're at a football game, specifically when you're on the Oregon Ducks sideline, you do not want to smell waffles. It just takes you out of it. That's a great ploy right there. But this one, a great setup here at Warrenton High School. It's behind home plate, so it affects everyone equally. As gets Fico out in front, swinging at the breaking pitch. Took a little bit of heat off that one, and the off-speed pitch gets him swinging. First strikeout of the game. Ends the inning for the Tigers. No hits, no runs, no one left on base, no errors. We go to the bottom of the second inning. Warriors leading the Tigers 1-0 back in 60. This is AM 1400 KBCH, and I'm Eric Goss here in the bottom of the second inning as Eli DeMello leads Dalton Knight off with a curveball on the outside part of the plate. Gets him looking for strike number 1 here. As Warriors got on the board in their half of the first. There's a chopper to Fico, and it hits foul about 2 feet to the left of the bag at third as Fico scooped that one up. So 0-2 count now for Dalton Knight at the plate, the senior center fielder. He was a second-team All-League selection last year. In on the wrist, and he got a piece of it. Otherwise, he would have been down on strikes. He just got a piece of it over there towards the first base dugout for the Warriors. On deck is Devin Jackson, the pitcher, followed by right fielder Khalil Kapua, and then it'd be the designated hitter Ethan Caldwell. The 0-2 from Eli, inside again as Jordan Hall sets up at second base and makes the catch on the pop-up. So a good piece of pitching there from Eli. So go against Dalton Knight. So it'll bring up Devin Jackson now. Pitcher versus pitcher. So Jackson is a lefty who bats left. Blaze pitches left, bats right. Dalton Knight pitches left, but he bats right as well. Eli starts off with a strike on the outside part to Devin Jackson, his counterpart. 0-1 count. Tigers want to see Eli get in a groove here. This one misses outside for a ball. As pitch counts aren't going to be a big concern for the Tigers. Ooh, a big cut there from Devin Jackson as he goes after that one from Eli. 1-2 count now. Eli looking for his first strikeout of the game. Goes outside corner, and he gets Jackson swinging. 2 up, 2 down now for the right fielder, Khalil Kapua, as Eli gets his first strikeout of the game. Eli and Blaze came into today, each with 36 strikeouts on the season. Eli now has 37. Inside on Capua, shows bunt. Eli calls for it, makes the catch. Blaze gets the grab at first as he goes into foul territory on the 1-3 ground out to end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. I don't know if Capua was meaning to bunt. He took a cut, and I think it just got the inside part of the bat and fell into foul territory, and that's how it works out. As we go 3 up, 3 down, we work top of the third back in 60 on your Tigers Radio Network. We're in the top of the third inning, and the burgers are being grilled up here. I heard somebody say pastrami. And do they know that Tai, he busted out the rye bread with salami and mustard with the Grand Slam last Tuesday? It was Tigers senior night back before May even hits the baseball calendar. As Tigers, the only team in the league with an all-turf infield. For Warrenton, they've got the turf cutouts, and of course that's always a big deal, is to be able to get those games in. So Jackson continues on the mound for Darius Smith as Tigers become road dogs here as part of this rodeo road trip to end the district season, as Jackson starts Darius off with a strike looking down the middle of the plate here in the top of the third. It'll be the 7, 8, 9 batters for the Tigers, with Caden Heineman, the catcher, on deck, as Darius got a piece of it out of play along the right field side. As we take a look across, once again in the Lady Tigers, Lady Warriors softball game, I see runners on first and second for Taft, as pitch inside and unable to let the runners advance a base for Coach Gates. That's the 0-2 count. Darius, can it get through the gap? As it does! It goes between Falls and Little at third and shortstop for the Tigers' second hit of the game. As each team with 2 hits, the Tigers, they got doubled up in the first after Eli got on. A leadoff single from Darius is a great way to start, and it'll bring up the catcher, Caden Heineman. As Caden hitting .255 on the year, Darius now with 14 hits. So he's now over .310 on the season. As a freshman last year, was more of just a pinch runner for Taft. Now as a sophomore stepped up to a full-time role. Caden, as a freshman, he shows bunt right now. A check throw to first base. Herrera makes the tag on the throw from Jackson, not in time to Darius. As easy throw from Jackson to first. Darius not threatening over there, but Coach King on the first base box with Coach Hildress along the third base side. Infield grass steps forward as Falls sees Heineman show bunt. That pitch outside. Here's the throw from Morrow. They try to pivot on the tag. No good on the throw. So 1-0 count to Caden, as he and Darius are, Coach King right now is looking at Darius. As he's got the turf over there, and Darius, I think it might have been an issue with losing some skin on the AstroTurf at first. So Jackson steps back on. 1-0 count, nobody down here, top of the third. Caden showed bunt the last 2 times. Falls comes charging in as Heineman squares up, gets the bat on the ball. It's down. Falls has to go to first. Here's the throw to Herrera as Darius goes all the way over to third because Falls came forward and Little didn't come cover third. They're going to call Caden out at first and Darius out as well. And I'm not sure why Darius was out. unless it was interference on some part. But Darius is out on the base pass. And I have no idea why. So 2 down here. Caden, he was thrown out at first on the bunt attempt. So Darius, perhaps when he rounded second, there was something there, but didn't see it as that pitch misses to Ethan Thomas for ball 1. So 1-1 count now is called strike to Ethan. He's hitting for Jordan Hall. And he swings at that pitch outside. 1-2 count now for Ethan. So Tigers once again get a hit, but the runner is out on the base pass. 1-2 count here for Ethan. Fouls this one off into the cage as he stays alive. Trenton Fisher, the leadoff man, is hoping to come to the plate. Otherwise, Tigers, they'll get 2 hits through the first 9, and they'll have no runs to show for it. As not leaving base runners on is never... or leaving base runners on is never a good thing, but if you're getting them on, it means you're getting them a chance to score. And in that time was Darius was at first. He tried to round second. Somewhere on the play, he did something he wasn't supposed to. Ethan looks at a pitch outside for a 2-2 count now. A promising inning is stalled. Can Ethan keep it alive? There's room in left center field. This one in the turf, and Ethan now finds himself at a full count. So through the first 8 batters, Jackson, he's got 2 hits and 1 strikeout. Ethan perhaps hoping he misses on a pitch here and picks up a walk on the first 9. And that will bring Trenton Fisher to the plate, who's came into today hitting .344 on the season. So here's the payoff pitch. Misses low, and that's precisely what it is for Ethan, is full count walk as he hustles down to first base. Trenton Fisher will come back to the plate as he went first pitch swinging to Devin Jackson and popped up to the pitcher back to start the game off. Just a 1-0 game here between the number 1 and number 2 teams in Special District 2 play. Number 5 Warrenton, number 8 Taft. Warrenton took both games on the 12th, 5-7 and 2-3. As Trenton goes in between the gap between Falls and Little, and that gets Ethan Thomas to second, and Tigers continue to make plays here now with 2 outs as a walk from Thomas and a single from Fisher. Get 2 on for Tigers' Eli DeMello, who comes to the plate now for the 2nd time today. He had the first hit of the game. As quick mound visit from Jake Morrow, as well as the shortstop Austin Little consulting with Devin Jackson on the hill. As those 3 players represent the 3 first-team All-Leaguers last year, as well as the All-State selections for the Warriors. A little bit of smoke in front of us here from the grill, as Eli hoping to cook something up for the Tigers. As Dalton Knight is shaded right center field. Got Thomas at second, Trenton at first. Here's a chopper to Falls, and he gets the high scoop and makes the ground out. 5 unassisted to end the threat. So the Tigers, they do get 2 hits in the inning, and they leave 2 on the bases, but they score 0 runs. As we go to the bottom of the 3rd, it's still Warrenton 1, Taft 0, back in 60 on your Tigers Radio Network. back here on AM 1400 KBCH, where we're in the bottom of the third inning, and it is the 9-1-2 part of the lineup for the Warriors. As it goes, Ethan Caldwell, the designated hitter, hitting for the left fielder Josh Earls, followed by the leadoff man Austin Little on deck, and the second baseman Gabe Breitmeyer. DeMello continues on the mound, throwing to Caden Heineman behind the plate. With no wind here on a great day, first pitch in the dirt to Caldwell for ball one. Blaze Kimbrough at first base, Jordan Hall at second, Fico Ramos at third, Cody Knott at shortstop, Darius Smith in left field, Ty Fisher in center field, and Trenton Fisher in right field. The 1-0 from DeMello misses away, 2-0 now to Caldwell at the plate. As coming up tomorrow, we'll have Trailblazers playoff basketball, game 2 for you. A 2-0 count turns into a 2-1 count as Caldwell swings at the breaking pitch. As well-timed call for Eli as that one falls underneath the bat. Strike one swinging. The 2-1 is low and away. Eli has been missing a bit today. It's been low and away. So Caldwell with a 3-1 count. We'll see if Coach Wolf, his 28th season for the Warriors. He swings at that one. Low pitch. 3-2 now for Caldwell. Now he definitely knows he's got the green light. Coach Wolf, he's got over 500 wins, and it's not even that big of a deal as I just got it in the back of the building here. Chopper back up the middle. It gets over Eli's head. Here comes Cody Knott. Scoops, throws, and makes the out for out number one on the 6-3 ground out to Ethan Caldwell. We'll bring up the shortstop now, Austin Little. In Austin's first at-bat, he grounded out to Fico at first base. So one down here, bottom of the third. 1-0 count, or 1-0 lead for the Warriors. They got their run in the bottom of the first. Little, that pitch is high and away, ball one to Austin. Breitmeyer on deck. And gets him swinging on the pitch inside. Strike one now to Austin Little. As we said, it's an unusually calm day here, thanks for very warm conditions on the field. As this one hit hard again at Fico, he's able to get a glove on it and knock it down as he dives to the ground. That down is an infield single for Austin Little. As there's a good defensive play by Fico to knock it down. If it gets past him, then Little's got a chance to advance to second base on the play. So Gabe Breitmeyer now will come to the plate with one on and one down, bottom of the third. Man on deck, Jake Morrow's the one that hit a double. He scored the game's only run. He still has the catcher shin guards on. Those Tigers hope to get a double play here and see Morrow leave him on. Little takes off. Here's a pitch swinging. Hyman's throw is going to be behind the bag. Cody, though, dives back as Little over slid at second base. So Little comes down with the stolen base on the play. As I believe it was a strike at the plate. Of course, everyone always forgets about the play at the plate. So that one high. Misses for ball one or two. It's a 1-1 count as the umpire throws it up for us. Thank you very much. So Breitmeyer, second baseman, 1-1 with the shortstop. Little taking a bit of a lead out there. There's a foul tip. 1-2 count now for Breitmeyer. He had the 1-3 ground out. It was on a bunt attempt. And he tried to do that bunt with nobody on the bases back in the first. So, Tigers now with the double play possibility out. Trying to get the easy out right here. 1-2 strikeout help. As that pitch inside and low, ball two. Hayden tries to frame that pitch, get the call from the home plate up, not buying it. He calls out the 2-2 count behind the plate. Eli from the stretch. This one hit into right field, shallow right field. Trenton comes forward, makes the diving catch on his knees. A great play from Little Fish as he comes up with the fly ball out number 2 here in the inning. As I get my scoreboard all mixed up. 2 Two down now for Jake Morrow. He had the double down the line in the first, and then he would come around to score. I thought he had him on a strikeout with a 1-2 count. Pitch inside. Said it missed. Morrow comes in with a little at second. Pitch inside, ball one. Bottom third, big situation for the Tigers is they've been able to hit Jackson. They haven't been able to score yet. You want to keep it close. That one is fouled out play. 1-1 count here. Good defensive play by Trenton Fisher. Kept Little at second. And Little, he watched that one land in the glove of Trenton Fisher as he didn't stray too far from the bag for Little Fish to be able to double him up. There's the 1-0 curveball. Gets him looking strike one. Or strike two now because the last one was foul. So two down with a 1-2 count. Similar situation as last time. We'll see if Eli goes to the breaking pitch inside again. Goes fastball down the middle, hit hard and just underneath the glove of Cody Knott as Little round second. It's cut off by Fico. RBI single by Jake Morrow scores the second run of the game as it's now a 2-0 lead for the Warriors as they've collected 2 hits here in the inning. And now Dwayne Falls, the third baseman, comes to the plate with a 2-0 lead, and Morrow at first base. Don't believe Coach Wolf will be using a courtesy runner for his catcher. So Falls had a single, an RBI single that scored Morrow. Morrow at first right now. He's at second last time. As Falls looks at strike one from Eli. Cody made a great effort to try and close the distance, but the ground ball went underneath the glove, and perhaps that's just the difference between playing on grass and turf. Check throw to first is not in time on the tag from Kimbrough, as Cody's glove was a bit high on that when he dove, and that's part of playing on grass. As we said, things aren't as bouncy, they don't come in as fast. 0-1 count for Falls. And curveball misses inside, ball one. So 1-1 count here at Huddleston Field at Warrenton High School. Eli from the stretch, check throw to first, not in time. Good play by Blaze, the senior lefty there to make the tag, but Jake Morrow back in time. Morrow, he's 2 for 2 today with a run and an RBI. He's been the man as first-team All-State catcher as a sophomore. That's what you expect. He takes off, swing at the plate as Caden double clutches and says, I'm not throwing down. So 1-2 count now as Coach Wolf calls out the play for his base runners. On deck is Alec Herrera, the first baseman. 1-2 count for Eli. Falls, hits this one to Cody. He makes the scoop. Here's the throw to Blaze in time for the 6-3 ground out. As the Warriors, they get one on 2 hits. They leave one on the base path. And we go to the top of the fourth with the Tigers trailing the Warriors now by 2-0. In 60 on your Tigers Radio Network. Welcome back on AM 1400 KBCH, where as assistant coach Hilgers or Coach King was walking by, I asked him what happened there, and he says it was interference from Caden that led to the out with Darius on the base path. So just, well, as you'd say, an unforced error in a situation like that. Cody Knott right now trying to give the Tigers a spark here. The young man had a 6-4-3 ground out back in the first. As Tigers, they need to show some juice here against the Warriors. Just a 2-run game, certainly something that they're very capable of batting out of the park. They lead the league by a wide margin in runs scored, 156 in 19 games. Next closest, the Warriors have scored 89 and 14. So Cody versus Jackson as he's underneath this one. Golf swing as this one popped up. There's a fight in the foul territory for it, and it's won by Devin Jackson. His second pop-up, first pitch swinging from the Tigers. As Jackson getting through the lineup awfully quick, brings up Ty Fisher now with one down. As Ty had a 6-3 ground out in the second. As Cody just got underneath that. You want level swings. Get all of the bat on the ball, put it in the outfield. Ty put one in the outfield in that magical 7th inning for the Tigers. They don't want to wait until the 7th inning here today. Wouldn't be good strategy because Warrenton has perhaps the deepest bullpen. So an 0-1 count for Ty. As he goes past Austin Little, who dives. That one was getting by him anyways, so good piece of hitting for Ty Fisher as he gets on board with one down now. 4th hit of the game for the Tigers. So in steps Blaze Kimbrough. Mentioned how Blaze has done a good job bringing runners in. See if Coach Hilgers perhaps likes to play a little bit of small ball, or if he puts Ty in motion ball here. As we said, little to no wind here at Warrenton today on a beautiful sunny Tuesday afternoon. Jackson pauses with a runner at first. That one's in the dirt. It gets away from Morrow, and that'll get Ty down to second base on the passed ball. So there's perhaps the first error of the game. Well, it's the first passed ball for Jake Morrow. So Ty now in scoring position for Blaze, who has a 1-0 count at the plate, top 4. Said Jackson has been thrown from the stretch all day long. It's where he's comfortable. The left-hander looks at Breitmeyer, cover the bag, and get back. That pitch outside Morrow. It's a good job blocking, but it's now a 2-0 count for Blaze. And again, Dalton Knight's been playing the right center field gap, and with the left-hander on the hill, and that's probably because he's not expecting the Tigers to get all the way around it. He put something in the outfield the other way. As this one's a chopper to Breitmeyer. Ty gets to third. Here's the throw to first as it's good from Breitmeyer to Herrera on the 4-3 ground out. Ty advances to third. He's now 90 feet away. And Fico Ramos has the opportunity to bring in the Tigers' first run of the game now with 2 outs. Fico had a strikeout in his first at-bat. He entered the game hitting .286 on the year with 10 hits. 5 runs batted in, so a chance for number 6 for number 5, Fico Ramos. Or number 12, Fico. He's playing the 5 spot. A check swing, fouled into the cage, as that one was high, as Fico trying to get the bat away. 0-1 count now. 2 down here, top of the 4th, but the Warriors leading the Tigers 2-0 here on AM 1400 KBCH. Coming up on Friday, the Tigers will go to Willamina for 2 games. This one outside part of the plate and fouled out of play by Fico, down 0-2. So that's one area where Fico, as he started to see more reps, he's been a victim of strikeouts at time. One of 3 players with double-digit strikeouts on the season for the Tigers. Look, he also has double-digit hits, though. As this one hit into the gap, falls, comes to it at third. Here's the throw, and it's good to save the run from being counted on the 5-3 ground outs. Tigers, they get 1 hit, their 4th of the game. They leave a runner on base, as we go bottom 4 with the Warriors leading the Tigers 2-0 back in 60. We're back here on AM 1400 KBCH, where the Ladybugs are taking over the broadcast booth here, as Eli DeMello will start off against the first baseman Alec Herrera in the bottom of the 4th. As he gets Herrera first pitch swinging on deck is the center fielder, Dalton Knight. Herrera, he grounded out to Cody back in the bottom of the 1st inning to end the threat. As breaking pitch misses outside. Good spot for Eli. As looked like he perhaps gave a little shrug up the head there with the 1-1 count. As plate ump hasn't given him the inside part. There's the 1-1. Goes down the middle and fouled off by Herrera as he keeps it alive. 1-2 now. Coach Lenny Wolf of the Warriors in that third base box. The Tigers are hoping for a quick inning here as they're going up against 5, 6, 7. I'm hoping they can get some damage. Darius will lead off the top of the 5th. He led off with a single his last at-bat as breaking pitch misses outside. Ball 2. As that one was outside, no doubt about it. So 2-2 for DeMello. Goes down the plate. This one hit back to Cody, who comes forward. There's the glove. There's the throw into Blaze's glove for the first out, 6-3. So Cody's got a few of those. That's his 4th 6-3 putout today. And for Warrenton, that now brings to the plate center fielder Dalton Knight. I posit that Knight, if Jackson does come off the hill, it'll be for Dalton Knight. It'll be a lefty-lefty switch. But Knight hits right, going against Eli. This one hit back up the middle off the pitcher's mound. Here's the throw by Cody, who's all over the place there with another 6-3 ground out. Back-to-back ground outs to the senior brings up Devin Jackson now as Eli comes off the hill there and tried to extend. And for the Tigers, it was a good thing that Eli didn't get a piece of it as that 2-hopped safely to Cody. So 2 down now, bottom 4 for... That would be Devin Jackson. As Eli starts off with a curveball, it's inside to the lefty. I thought that was coming in a lot harder than it did. Ball 1. On deck is right fielder Khalil Kapua. A 1-0. It gets the outside part of the plate this time. 1-1 count to the lefty, Devin Jackson, the only lefty in the lineup. 1-1 from DeMello is low and away. 2-1 now. Here's some action from the softball game as Tigers have a runner on first base. Not sure what the score is in that one as Jackson swings. That's strike 2. If I'm able, I'll try and yell at somebody and say, hey, do you know what the score of the softball game is? It's usually wise words. Check swing, got him looking, as the umpire wasn't sure for a moment there, as if he had to use 3 fingers when making the call there or not. Second strikeout of the game as the Tigers get the Warriors to go 3 up, 3 down. We go to the top of the fifth, Tigers trail the Warriors 2-0 on your Tigers radio network. Back in 60.
Does anybody know the softball score? Thank you. You know what inning? Thank you. Top 5.
Welcome back on AM 1400 KBCH, where Devin Jackson continues on the hill for Coach Wolf. In the softball game right now, the Warrenton Warriors, who lost their first 2 games against the Lady Tigers, in the top of the 5th inning, they hold a 2-3 lead over Taft. As that game, as we said, top of the 5th, as I think it just got tied up with the Tiger crossing the plate and another Tiger, number 11, at second base. So the Tigers and Lady Warriors softball game appears to be tied at 3 now in the top of the 5th inning, as Devin Jackson is going up against Darius Smith, as Warrenton with 4 hits today, 2 runners left on base. The Tigers with 4 hits and 3 runners left on base. The difference, though, is Warriors, they've been bringing their runners across. So Darius, who had a base hit in his last at-bat, his only at-bat, starts off swinging, strike 1. That was in the top of the 3rd. And then Caden would, with nobody out, he would sack bunt to try and advance Darius, but on the play, Caden interfered in the process, and so Darius was out as well. Oh, we're 1-1 count now, that one in the turf outside, blocked by Morrow. So Tigers, as we said, they've hurt themselves at times here. Of course, a 6-4-3 ground out in the first inning, that's just tip of your cap to your opponent. As Darius goes out of the fridge to swing at that one, you want to make sure you stay in the zone, as that time he went high into the freezer, and it's ice cold up there. Devin Jackson with a 1-2 count. We'll see if he throws a junk pitch here. This one got a piece of it, fouled, so Darius stays alive with a 1-2 count. Jackson didn't throw the junk pitch that time. Lefty, see if he throws a big hook here. Darius, as Morrow sets up outside, there's the junk pitch. And it was just a heater outside. See if Darius would chase. As Tigers have some action, and their bullpen, Blaze, is throwing. As Ty's got the glove on there to protect the catcher for the Tigers as it's in the field of play. That pitch is low inside to Darius, who's now got himself a full count here. And for the Tigers, it's about getting runners on base to bring him across. So a walk is almost as good as a base hit in this situation. Base hit could just be more than one, though. So the 3-2 payoff pitch from Jackson is high and fouled back by Darius, who stuck with the motto of anything close, keep it alive. So we'll try it again. As the Tigers, number 11's no longer on the field of play. It's now number 6 out at second in that softball game. So here's the full count pitch to Darius, and it misses high. Second walk of the game for Jackson. So he's got 4 hits given up, 2 walks, and 1 strikeout. But an important measure for him is the Tigers still have a donut on the scoreboard. So Cade now at the plate with Darius at first. We'll see if Coach Hilgers has him do the same thing as last time. Darius takes his lead. Morrow behind the plate. The first-team All-State catcher is calling out the coverage defensively as Falls from third comes forward. As that first pitch is low and away to Caden for a ball. Perhaps Coach Hilgers is going to let Heineman, hitting .255 coming into today, swing away. Caden does have 13 hits on the season, 8 runs batted in. Darius at first. It'd have to be something in the gap to the fence, but Darius has great speed at first. Caden shows bunt, drops it down. Jackson plays it at first as Herrera makes the grab, and Darius gets down to second on the sac bunt. 1-3. One down now, but Darius is successfully at second base for designated hitter Ethan Thomas. Ethan got on via a walk, a full count walk. Morrow calls out the play defensively behind the plate as he squats down. Jackson settles in, thrown from the stretch, Little at shortstop, goes to the bag, backs off. Here's the pitch, hit towards Breitmeyer at second, as that'll get Darius to third on the ground out. So 4-3 ground out. A good piece of hitting, though, by Ethan, as Breitmeyer had to charge hard to work for it. So 2 down now for Trenton Fisher, who's 1 for 2 today. And if Trenton can get a base hit, well, he's going to give the Tigers their first run of the day, as he's 1 for 2, had a single in his last at-bat. That pitch is outside, ball 1 to Trenton. It'd be a great time for Little Fish, who's got a total of 22 hits on the season. Eli leads the team with 24. As this one up the middle, and it will score, Darius. Breitmeyer gets to it. Here's the throw, but it's not in time, as Breitmeyer made a heck of a play, but Trenton Fisher makes this a 1-run game, scoring Darius Smith from third on the infield single up the middle. Eli now comes to the plate with Tigers only trailing the Warriors by 1, 2-1. We see a bit of a substitution or a pause out as Coach Wolf will come out to talk to his junior pitcher, Devin Jackson. I think this is the end of the day, and it is. Dalton Knight coming in from center field. So with Dalton Knight coming in from center field, we'll have a 60-second break for the pitching warm-ups here on your Taft Tigers radio network. Welcome back here on AM 1400 KBCH, for center fielder Dalton Knight, the senior, has come in here with 2 outs in the top of the 5th inning in replacement of Devin Jackson, who had 5 hits today. He's still on the hook for Trenton over at first base. He's given up 1 run. He had 1 strikeout with 2 walks. As Taft looking to tie this one up here with 2. So not sure what some of the outfield substitutions are. I think that's Jackson, who's now in right field. So I think, is that Kapua in right? The infield looks like it remains the same. Morrow behind the plate. Jackson over at first base now. So that is not Alec Herrera at first base. That is Devin Jackson. So Jackson goes to first base, and then I think Herrera is now in left field. as Eli DeMello is at the plate up against Dalton Knight, as Knight threw game 2 of the doubleheader against Blaze, as the Warriors won that game 2-3. Tigers looking to get game 3 as Eli goes with a bunt, and a great barehanded play by Dalton Knight gets the out on the easy toss after making a difficult barehanded catch. Tigers, their third time today where they get an out first pitch, as Coach King talks to Eli over there, who leads the team in hits, but he went for the bunt that time. He's gotten a few of those to fall, but it is the third out for the Tigers as they get one hit in the inning. They get one run and one left on the bases. We go bottom 5, Tigers trailing by 1. Back in 60 on your Tigers radio network. Welcome back here on AM 1400 as Eli starts off with his first pitch, and it's going to plunk Khalil Kapua. He gets on by a hit by pitch, so he heads on down to first base. That is the 9th man that Eli has plunked so far this season. He's got 11 walks with 9 hit batters. He's have 2 strikeouts today, so he's got 38 on the season. He's got a 2-to-1 walk or strikeout to walk by pitch ratio. So this will bring up now number 10, Ethan Caldwell, the designated hitter, who starts off with a bunt showing for strike 1. As Caldwell trying to play small ball here. He's going to show bunt. Fico now comes up at third base. As this one hit high in the air and foul out of play along the first base side, as Eli almost jumped into Caldwell heading down that first base side. With 2 strikes now, we'll see if Coach Wolf trusts his batters the way Coach Hilgers does to bunt with 2 strikes. Of course, you don't put this one into fair territory. It's a strikeout. And you've got Kapua at first base, who looks like he was going to take off. Here it is, and it is foul out of play. And so it'll be the first out for Caldwell. So 1 down now for the leadoff man, Austin Little, with Khalil Kapua at first base. Here in the bottom of the 5th, the Tigers finally got on the board there in the top of the 5th inning when Trenton Fisher drove in Darius Smith. After Darius got on with a leadoff walk, Eli from the stretch, Kapua takes off. Here's the throw from Hyndman as it gets past Cody, as Jordan Hall does a good job there at second base to go out into shallow center field and make the grab. So Kapua with the second stolen base of the day, as Austin Little, the man at the plate, has the other. That was back in the 3rd. Little would come around to score in the inning. He's the last man to score for the Warriors, and the Tigers hope that is the case. Eli steps off the plate, or steps off the hill. As Little, you see the call has looked good, I thought, from Caden. This one hit and foul down the third base side. So it's at least a 0-1, or either a 1-1 or an 0-2 count at the plate. And it's an 0-2 count as the official holds up, as the umpire holds up the fingers there. So 1 down with Kapua at second. Here's the pitch from Eli. It's high down the plate for ball 2. Little, as we said, one of 3 first-team All-League selections and 3 all-state selections. That's how you make the all-state team. You got to qualify first by being first team. As this one hit into left field, it's not going to get to Darius. It gets past him. This scores Kapua from second easily as Austin Little has a stand-up double, and they get the run right back from the Tigers. It's a 3-1 Warrenton lead for Gade Breitmeyer now coming to the plate here in the bottom of the fifth as timely hitting for the Warriors. As I want to say, each team now has 5 hits on the day. The difference, though, is that the Warriors have plated 3, and the Tigers have only brought 1 across. So Gabe Breitmeyer, this one hit and underneath the glove of Fico Ramos, and that scores Austin Little on the error, and Breitmeyer gets all the way to second on the play, and the Tigers now giving up back-to-back runs, and you wonder if they have enough here, as Coach Hildress looks like he's seen enough, as this is probably going to be a pitching change now with Blaze Kimbrough over at first base. He would be the natural selection. We said he was warming up a moment ago. But the first error of the game, as Fico, had he made the grab on that, he's got a great chance to throw Breitmeyer out, and Little would have had to have held at second base on the play, with the play being hit so hard at third. So at the plate now will be Jake Morrow. We'll see if Eli continues. He does continue here with 1 out and a runner at second with 2 runs in here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The Warriors lead the Tigers 4-1. As Tigers are going to be down to their final 6 outs when we come up in the top of the 6th inning. And they're going to have to bring a whole lot more than what they've shown so far. There's a bit of wind now starting to come in from center field. As that pitch misses inside for a ball to Jake Morrow. As Eli's tried to keep Morrow away from the sweet spot, but he's 2 for 2 today. A single and a double. As he pops this one up, as Caden drops the mask off, and it gets out of play for a foul ball. 1-1 count for Morrow at the plate. As Lady Tigers, it's either the top of the 6th or they've had a long 5th inning at the plate. Which the Lady Tigers, as we said, number 5 ranked team in the state for softball. They play with the number 1 ranked Clatskanie Tigers, filled with a bunch of sophomores who just won a state championship in basketball. And when you've got a bunch of sophomores, that says good things about the future. That pitch inside to Morrow, looking for strike 2. Time Eli gets the call on the inside part. So 1-2 count for the All-State catcher, as Eli was an honorable mention All-State selection last year at catcher. There are 3 All-State catchers in this league. As that pitch misses low and away, ball 2. As Cade Warren of Clatskanie, who we'll see final weekend of the year, he was a selection on the honorable mention list with Eli, and then Morrow was the first teamer. So 2-2 count for Jake Morrow. Here's a pitch from Eli, hit into right field. This was high for Trenton on the can of corn, makes the grab for the second out, F9. And that'll bring up now Dwayne Falls, the third baseman, who's 1 for 2 today, with an RBI single back in the first that scored Morrow. So 4-1 Warrenton lead. Taft, as we said, doubleheader coming up Friday against Willamina, and then Tuesday at Catlin Gable, and then Friday doubleheader versus Clatskanie. This is by far the most difficult game remaining on the schedule, and a must-get for the Tigers. This one hit softly up the middle. Cody comes in hard charging, scoop and throw in time. A good dig by Blaze Kimbrough there at first base on the 6-3 throw out, as it wasn't the best throw from Cody, but a good piece of leather by Blaze. The Warriors, they get 2 runs in the inning, 1 hit, and they leave 1 on the base pass. So they score 2 runs on only 1 hit. We go top of the 6th. Tigers are down to their final 6 outs, back in 60 on your Tigers radio network. Back here to the top of the 6th inning where the Tigers trail the Warriors after they got their first run of the game and cut it to one-run game, 2-1. The Warriors put 2 up in the bottom of the 5th. They're now in control with a 3-run lead with senior Dalton Knight on the mound. His second-team All-League selection last year, and he's already got 1 win on the year against the Tigers as they're looking to sweep the series against Taft. They've gotten some hits today, and they could sure use one from one of their senior captains right now, Cody Knott, who goes into right center field. Dalton Knight, no, it's not Knight, it's Josh Earls, as Cody digs for 2. Here's the throw, and he's up with a stand-up double, so I just said they could use their senior to make a big play, as Knight was in center field previously, but Josh Earls moved over from left field, and that was a deep shot by Cody that got over Earl's head, and he had to move fast. So Ty now comes to the plate with Cody at second. Tigers trying to get those 2 runs back. Knight throwing from the stretch in this situation. That one's in for a ball. So Ty, he's 1 for 2 today with a single. He advanced all the way to third in the 4th. That pitch outside as he gets out of the glove of Morrow, but as Cody has to stay at second. Good play by Dwayne Falls at third, also move to the bag. So Ty, 340 hitter entering today, who's 1 for 2. Trying to look for an RBI here in this situation with another base hit for the Tigers. Pitch outside by Knight. So 2-1 count. Ty with 19 hits on the season and 20 runs batted in. Solid numbers for the young man. Looking to add a mark in each category here if he can. 2-1 count, top 6. Cody takes off. This one's hit past Falls. Cody shuffles the feet at third so he can make the turn. Here's the throw. Ty heads to second on the high throw. He slides into second, safe. So we just called out the last 2 plays. Can Blaze Kimbrough now switch places with Ty Fisher and make it 3 for 3? So I'm calling that an RBI single for Ty, who hustled to second on the relay throw. But for the Tigers, they now get their second run of the game. It's a 4-2 ball game. So back-to-back hits for Taft. And a good spot now with 0 outs. Top of the 6th. Runner at second place right now is the tying run at the plate, as a lot of that barbecue smoke coming in as he looks at strike 1. As the grill is hot, the bats are hot. Competitive game, and again the Lady Tigers still at the plate as Blaze foul tip into the glove of Morrow. He's now down 0-2 with Fico Ramos on deck. Got senior versus senior, both left-handed pitchers, but Blaze bats right. Knight from the stretch. That pitch, as Blaze did a good job of laying off that pitch outside. Does have 2 strikes, so he's got to protect, but you also have to keep a good eye. So the 1-2 from Knight, curveball. It's taken towards second base. Knight collects and throws to Jackson at first, who comes running over and looking at Ty the whole way through. So another 1-3 ground out. 1 down now. Ty advances on the ground out for Fico Ramos. Now comes to the plate. Fico 0 for 2 today. Looking for his first hit. He's hitting 286 coming into today, so I would tend to say that he is due right now for hit number 11, and that would make this a 1-run game if he could. Pitch is high to Fico, ball 1. And for Taft, that's what you'd love to see here, is start eating into these pitchers if you can, as Knight missed that pitch high. As top 6, down by 2, gets Fico swinging strike 1 with the miss. Nice athletic complex here at Warrenton High School on a beautiful Oregon Coast afternoon. This one hit into right field. That's going to go into foul territory and out of play over towards the football field here. So we'll try it again, this time now with a 1-2 count for Fico at the plate. He's got the only strikeout of the day, so Tigers have done a much better job of getting a bat on the ball. 1-2 for Fico. Curveball misses outside. That was the junk pitch, although I think from Knight's reaction, he didn't mean to throw the junk pitch there. The curveball just got away from him from the look of it. So 2-2 count now for the sophomore third baseman. Will likely switch to first base if Blaze comes in. This pitch inside, in on the wrist. Fico swings at it, gets it up. Morrow tries to dive for it, and it's off the catcher's glove. A great play by Jake Morrow. Just outside his grasp allows Fico to do it again with the 2-2 count here in the top of the sixth, the Tigers trailing 4-2. As Coach Hilgers is letting them know, you got to keep that elbow in tight. As Tigers want to see their hitters drive something into the outfield, the 2-2 to Fico, as he gets him swinging right there for the second time today. Second out of the inning will bring up Darius Smith. And Darius has been having a great day so far. He's 1 for 1 with a single and a walk. The Tigers certainly could use another single here, as Darius batting .310 coming into today. He's got 14 hits now on the season, 19 runs scored. He takes a cut inside for strike one to Dalton Knight. It looks like the Tigers have finally had their third out in the softball game. I see Emma Coulter out in the circle now. 0-1 count for Darius as he tries to bring in Tai. This one hit high into left field. Alec Herrera will go out for it along with center fielder Josh Earls, but it's Herrera who comes up and makes the catch for the final out, F7. So the Tigers, they get 2 hits back to back. They leave 1 run on base. They do get 1 run back, but we now go bottom 6 with the Tigers trailing the Warriors by a score of 4-2. We'll be back in 60 seconds here on your Tigers Radio Network. Welcome back on AM 1400 KBCH as Tigers have made that pitching change now with Blaze Kimbrough. The senior left-hander will be throwing to Alec Herrera, who just made the final out of the top of the sixth. So Caden Heineman still behind the plate with new first baseman Fico Ramos. So just directly across the middle of the infield there. The pitcher goes to third, the third base goes to first, and first base goes to the mound. So Jordan Hall still at second, Cody Knott still at shortstop, and the outfield still remains Darius, Tai, and Trenton left, center, and right. So Blaze in here late to keep this just a 2-run game with Alec Herrera now as he fouls that one down the first base side for Warriors assistant coach. They got 4 of them. I'm not sure if that's Boomer Bjarnason, Jacoby Marshall, Steven Sloniker, or Zach Gontabine. As an 0-1 count for Herrera. 5 hits for the Warriors. They've scored 4 runs, and they've left 3 on the bases as Herrera looks at strike 2. Blaze, he's now trails Eli with 36 strikeouts to Eli's 38, but Blaze leads the team with a 1.34 ERA, his team leading 12th appearance of the season. The 0-2 from Blaze popped up. This one looks like it'll stay in shallow right field as Trenton Fisher comes forward and calls out to make the catch for out number 1 to Herrera, bringing up the pitcher now, Dalton Knight. So 1 down for Blaze. So Eli will go 5 innings today, and it didn't seem like he threw a whole lot of pitches either, so he should have a good pitch count available for Friday's doubleheader to Willamina. That pitch to Knight misses outside, ball 1. As Tigers, they managed to score 2 runs in the top of the 5th and the top of the 6th, but they gave up 2 runs there in the bottom of the 5th as Knight carefully measures that one, and it's low for ball 2. Just missed the zone from Blaze. 2-0 from the senior turns into a 3-0 as that one misses outside. Blaze tries to find the mark here with the 3-0 count. We'll see if Knight has the green light. No, as that is a 4-pitch walk. And for the Tigers, it's the first free passes that they've issued have come late here. Eli led the bottom of the 5th off with a hit batter against Kapua. As Jackson now comes to the mound, the plate, the new first baseman. As he went 4 2/3 innings today. As he's going to take off for second, the throw from Hindman, and it was there, but Cody couldn't catch it. Ty comes forward. As it's a stolen base for Dalton Knight, the 3rd of the day, and the throw was there from Cody. The throw was there from Caden to Cody. Cody was just unable to make the catch. So it's an 0-1 count to Jackson with the called strike at the plate. 1 down here as the Warriors try and manufacture a 3rd run as Tigers go top 7 here, and they know they'll have to score at least 2 or this one's done. As pitch, good-looking pitch outside, but it just misses for Blaze. 1-1 count now for Devin Jackson as corner infielders are playing up. For Eli, he's got the lead runner at 3rd that want to be coming that way, and the Tigers want to get that man out. There's the bunt, and it fouls out of play 1-2 as Jackson brings the bat high. And Little did take off for 3rd base on the play, and that is what the Warriors want to do here is bunt with the lefty Jackson, hit it at Eli at 3rd so that Eli is unable to make the play. He wants to stay home, though, so that the Tigers will throw it to him. There's 1 out. So the other option is to try and get the out at first and go 2 down. Instead, they get the strikeout of Jackson with the 1-2 count. Coach Wolf elects, after seeing his designated hitter, Ethan Caldwell, miss the bunt opportunity with 2 strikes. He lets Jackson swing away, and he strikes out for 2 down now for right fielder Khalil Kapua. First pitch swinging. There's the throw as Eli unable to make the catch cleanly as Knight, he paused there at 3rd as if he was going to get bit by that ball if Eli didn't catch it, as Eli kept it in front. But it ends up as the 4th stolen base today, and for Dalton Knight, he could have been thrown out on both of them. As called strike has Kapua now down 0-2. So Kimbrough with the 0-2 count, looking to get out of this inning after giving up the walk. That pitch is high, misses ball 1. So the Warriors, they've struck out 4 times today, 1 looking. Blaze, we'd like to see number 5 right here. As that one misses ball 2. So Eli with 39 strikeouts on the year. Blaze has 1 so far today. Looking for 2-2 count with 2 outs, bottom of the 6th. Check swing, and no, just misses, so it's a full count. As I said, that one was high and away to Kapua. So the right-hander with the 3-2 count here. Now this one fouled back into the cage. He keeps it alive. Looks like we have had the conclusion of Warriors-Tigers softball, and if the top of the fifth was any indication for Taft, they just won the softball game here today. 3-2 count for Kimbrough to Jackson, and misses high. Second walk of the inning. Puts runners on the corners as he takes off to second. He's now going to get into a pickle. Cody, he's going to throw to Caden, and there's the pickoff as they try and steal home plate, and Dalton Knight gets caught stealing for the final out of the inning. Kapua over there at first base thought he could get into a pickle and let Little score, and instead it just leads to the Tigers getting the ball into the hands of Cody Knott and saying Cody can make that throw from second base home. So it's a 4-2 game going to the top of the seventh inning. Tigers down to their final 3 outs. We'll be back in 60. Well, here we are in the top of the seventh inning now, as it would be Dalton Knight going up against Caden Hyman as the 8-9-1 batters for the Tigers. So the top of the lineup is going to have to produce here to get them through this, as both Caden and Ethan have to come across to score for the Tigers. Oh, they don't have to, but if those two guys do, they're going to be sitting in a good situation. Maybe they can make this inning similar to the second game against Rainier, where the Tigers were down 2 going into the top of the seventh. They scored 6 runs. As Caden starts this one off with a hit into left center field, shallow hit, but he gets on base with the first hit of the inning for the Tigers, and it comes at a very good time as Caden now 1 for 3 on the day for designated hitter Ethan Thomas. As Taft, they've been able to get the bat on the ball at times today. Not a whole lot, as great pitchers for Warrenton, as Knight taps the wrist there as Morrow comes back to the plate. Ethan Thomas with a walk today and a 4-3 ground out. It did advance Ty to third base on the play. They weren't able to get him, or it advanced Darius to third on the play. Darius would score. So Trenton Hall comes in as a pinch runner in this situation, and first pitch is low for ball 1. Big opportunity for Ethan. On deck is the leadoff man, Trenton Fisher, who's 2 for 3 today with 2 singles, his last 2 at-bats. This one popped, and it's in foul territory as Jackson comes charging over from first, but that one hits into the low left fence. Unable, you'd have to eat that one with your teeth into the fence if you're trying to make that catch. And not a play that I think anybody recommends. Bit of wind coming in from center field. Not much, though. As we said, it's been a calm day. Got the smoke from the grill billowing out across the plate right now as Ethan fouls that one back. A 1-2 count. So no smoke hazards here or air quality warnings. Is making everybody a little hungry. Body language would indicate that the Lady Tigers did win that softball game. 1-1 in the dirt as Trenton Hall stays at first base at the play. Now a 2-2 count. Again, no outs here. Top of the seventh. The Tigers trying to steal one on the road after the Warriors have been in control in this one. Hall takes his lead at first. This one, Ethan flips the wrists at it and hits it out of play. It remains a 2-2 count at the plate. Offensively, Jake Morrow behind the plate, Devin Jackson at first, Gabe Breitmeyer at second, Dwayne Falls at third, with Austin Little at shortstop, Alec Herrera in left field, Josh Earls in center field, as Thomas swings at that one and threw it for strikeout number 1 of the day for Thomas. It's the first out of the inning, and will bring up Trenton Fisher as the Tigers are now down to their final 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Trenton represents the tying run at the plate with Trenton Hall at first base. 4-2 game. Trenton with 2 singles in his last 2 at-bats has 23 hits on the season. He's 1 behind Eli DeMello, who's on deck with 24. As this one fouled out of play along the first base side. A lot of extra softball players around to help catch those foul balls. So 0-1 count for Trenton. 344. As he tries to put this one in shallow right field, it's in foul territory as Jackson, he moves the donkey going the opposite direction than that first. Unable to get for Trenton at the plate. As Eli picks up the bat, issues some words of encouragement to Little Fish. 2 juniors right now trying to make a difference with the junior Trenton Hall at first base. Pinch running for Caden Heineman, the catcher, who got on with a leadoff single. As Knight, good fastball, gets past Trenton Fisher. Back-to-back strikeouts by Dalton Knight have the Tigers on the edge here. They're running out of rope. Eli DeMello needs a nice hard level swing, put something into the outfield grass, allow the Tigers to run. Saw the 356 batter, honorable mention All-State selection. First pitch swinging, Austin Little collects, thought about second, goes to first, in time for the final out. 6-3 as the Warrenton Warriors beat the Tigers today by a score of 4-2 behind the combined pitching effort of Devin Jackson and Dalton Knight as they beat the Tigers in 7 innings, 4-2. We'll be back in 2 minutes with a post-game recap for you here on your Taft Tigers radio network. Welcome back here on AM 1400 KBCH, where the Warrenton Warriors go to 8-1 in league play. They are 12-3 overall. They are the number 5 ranked team in the state. The Tigers are now 6-4 in league play. They are 10-10 on the season. And Rainier's playing a doubleheader with Klatskanai today. If Rainier wins both those games, they'll be at 6-3 and a half game ahead of Taft, who is now at 6-4. So if Rainier wins out on the season, so if they win 2 games today, they win 2 games against Warrenton. Warrenton will end up winning the league. Or actually, if Warrenton wins out now and Rainier wins, or Warrenton and Rainier can't win out. So if Rainier wins out and Warrenton only loses to Rainier, then they'll end up in a tie for first place, and the Tigers would end up in third. Of course, when it comes to seeding for the state championship bracket, those OSAA rankings are the only thing that matters. And with the Rainier Columbians ahead of them at 6, the Tigers at 8. Tigers are probably not going to qualify now for a first-round home game of the state playoffs. It's still possible, but at this point, it seems like they will likely be going on the road to either the Eastern Oregon League champion or likely to or Special District 5 is what that is, or Special District 1. I would say those are probably the 2 likely destinations for Taft at this point. Of course, if Taft doesn't get it together, if they take these final 5 games, 2 on Friday against Willamina, 1 on Tuesday against Catlin Gable, and another 2 against Klatskanai, they could still lose. Klatskanai, with 4 losses in the league, they could beat the Tigers and end up, who have 4 losses right now. And then Catlin Gable, same situation. Now, Tigers have beat everybody beneath them already, as Coach Hilgers and Coach King talked to everybody there along the third base side. It's just another situation of Taft didn't do anything until the end of the game, and by that point, it's too late. That was the case in both games against Warrenton. The 5-7 loss, the Tigers came up in the bottom of the 7th inning with a chance to bring the tying run and winning run to the plate. The tying run in the first game. In the 2-3 loss, they had the winning run at the plate in the bottom of the 7th inning. So, and even in the Rainier loss last Friday, 2-4, same thing. You just started off slow. You gave up a run in the bottom of the first. You gave up a run in the bottom of the third, and then in the top of the 5th is when you got your first run. It was a 1-2 game going into the bottom of the 5th, and then the Warriors scored 2 runs, made it a 4-1 game going into the 6th. The Tigers got 1 run back. They held the Warriors scoreless in the bottom of the 6th, but they were unable to get anything done in the top of the 7th. So Eli DeMello, he will get the loss today in 5 innings pitched. He had 3 strikeouts to only 5 hits, gave up 4 runs. Blaze Kimbrough, 1 inning of relief, had 2 walks with 1 strikeout. On the other side, Devin Jackson, he will get the win today on the mound as Tigers, they were able to not hit him 5 times. They actually put up more hits today than the Warriors did, but the Warriors were able to make it count, and the Tigers were unable to. One of those plays was an interference from Caden Heinman on a bunt attempt. Darius would have ended up at third on the play with only 1 out. Instead, both players were out. Now you're down 2 outs, and in that situation, it was where Ethan Thomas then had a walk, and then Trenton Fisher had a single. So you would have scored a run there for sure in the third, had that play not played out the way it did. But for the Tigers, they scored 2 runs today on 8 hits. They strand 6 runners on base, and they had 1 error. For the Warriors today, they score 4 runs on 5 hits. They strand 4 runners on base, and they had 1 error as well. So we'll be back in action against Willamina for a doubleheader at Willamina on Friday, coming up roughly 3 p.m. And the way my Blazers schedule understands it is tomorrow at 6:30 here on AM 1400 KBCH, we'll have Blazers pregame with Jay Allen, as well as fill-in play-by-play broadcaster Travis Demers taking over for Brian Wheeler. Travis Demers does the University of Portland games when he's not filling in for Brian Wheeler. Hey, Jeff Curtin, I'm available too. As Friday, the way the doubleheader will work is that'll be Game 3 at the Moda Center in Portland. So our coverage of Tiger baseball, once we conclude that doubleheader, we'll either have a bit of time before pregame starts. It'll be just about time for pregame. As that does it today, the Warriors beat the Tigers 4-2.